Thank you for joining us, Assemblyman Essayli. Could you please tell us what happened to your bill, AB 1314, and your reaction?
Sure. So, we introduced the bill, and the committee had until last week to decide if they're going to hear it or not. And unfortunately, the chairman of the committee, of the Education Committee, notified us that they will not be hearing our bill, which means it won't even get a hearing. We won't be able to speak about it at the committee. We won't have a vote. People won't be able to lodge their support or opposition.
So does this mean the bill is essentially dead? If so, what is your next step?
Well, the bill can be brought up again next year, but now what we're doing is we're focused on empowering parents on the local level. So really what we're talking about here is schools are withholding information from parents about their own kids. And we don't believe this is lawful. So what we're doing is we're going to have the parents go to their local school districts and demand that they change these policies and that they begin to inform parents when the schools learn that their kids are being affected by gender dysphoria.
There have been a lot of ongoing debates between parental rights groups and transgender rights activists in Chico, Newport Beach, and Costa Mesa up and down the state. But when you introduced this bill with your fellow Republican Assemblyman James Gallagher at the state level, did you get any support from Democrats? Or is this an issue kind of divides the two parties?
Well, I'll tell you, informally, we had a lot of folks call our office who said they were Democrats and that they support the bill. But politically, as far as elected Democrats up here, no, not a single elected Democrat supports the bill. But I believe that people, the actual Democrat people in the state, do support this bill. I really believe this is a bipartisan issue. We're talking about children and parents and the sacred relationship between children and parents, and the government coming in and saying that the parents can't know certain things about their kids. We've never had this before. It's not right. I don't believe it's lawful or constitutional.
So the way how this bill is written, does it alter any existing laws for providing medical or psychological confidentiality for minors or prevent schools from protecting a child that may be in danger off campus or at home?
No, so a couple things. Number one, it doesn't alter anything. There is no existing law that says schools are allowed to withhold information from parents. Some districts are claiming that that's what the law says, but that's not true, and they've never been able to point to a single law or to a court case that said that. They totally made that up. So no, we don't believe there's any law that does this. This will just clarify the obligation on the school to notify parents. Secondly, this issue about parents potentially being abusive to their kids. We have so many laws in place and systems in place. If anyone has any information that a parent is being abusive to a minor or that the home is a dangerous place, they have a duty to report that to the authorities. We have law enforcement, we have child protective services, we have a lot of measures in place, but we cannot use that as an excuse to say parents are not allowed to know what's going on with their kids because we have to protect the kids. That to me is a false argument, it's a red herring, and it's an excuse to be able to implement these policies and keep parents in the dark.
Well, some critics call this bill as hate disguised as parental rights. What is your response to that?
Parents are not a hate group. They're not. And nobody cares more for their kids than their own parents. And I don't believe some stranger at school, that whether it's a teacher or counselor, I don't think they're going to care more about your kid than you. So no, I don't buy that argument. I don't hear any hate coming except from honestly the progressive left. They're trying to make this a hate issue because they don't want to talk about what the bill's actually about, which is parental rights and who has the right to raise your kids. Is it you, the parents, or is it the government? And I think the government now wants to get in the business of raising our kids, and I'm not going to allow that.
Assemblyman Bill Essayli, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us.